What's up, you guys? Welcome to Up and Above Electric. We're getting ready for inspection, going over a few things in this panel to make sure we pass inspection tomorrow on the first try. Waiting for a few more people to come on. So this job was a full cut. So this is a 200 amp Leviton panel, 30 space. If you wonder, we look at it in New York City. So whenever an inspector come out to do an inspection for electrical in our state, so the first thing they come to is the panel. So the things that they look out for is to make sure the panel is, if it's the main panel has to be bonded, which you could see this right here is the main screw with the jumper. So this panel is bonded, so we check that. And as you can see, if you look to the side, we have three sets of ground here. They're all number two. So whenever you're doing a 200 amp service, you can use number two green. The lowest you could use number four, but we like to go, and then the other one comes in the panel to create the bond. So once they finish check that, the next thing they check for, they want to make sure all your outlet is in an arc breaker. They want to make sure that your 12-3 is in a double pole breaker. If you have a multi-branch circuit wire, you cannot have two single breaker. You have to put a double pole. The reason that is because you're sharing the neutral. Whenever you're sharing a neutral between the black and the red, you have to put it in a double pole breaker. So in the event something happened to leg A, everything goes out. So if it's in a single breaker individually, so what happened is if A trip, B remain on, and that's when it becomes a problem most of the time. We got our lighting circuit, and even some of the GFI, we end up putting them in ground fault as well. And this one right here is the 100 amp sub panel on the second floor. So basically, this controls the second floor, so this will be a sub panel. And then the next thing they look out to, they want to make sure you group everything. For example, so if you're using a duplex connector, you have two sets of wire coming in. So you got to group them so they could see which neutral belongs to what, especially when you have a 12-3. So what I like to do with my 12-3, I just use a single connector and then put it all by itself. So when the inspector come and look, it's just a matter of seeing it and then good to go. And the next thing you must know too, if you have any open knockout, you must close it with like a KO seal. So there's no opening in the panel. The inspector don't want to see that. And then we try our best to make the job look as neat as possible. As you can see, we try to keep everything nice and neat. So when the inspector come out, if they see you take pride in your work, Most likely they won't give you too much of a hard time, but you want to make sure you're ready at all costs. And this over here is the inline box from Conedison. And then the meter comes in, which we passed Conedison already. We meet the height. The standard height in New York City is 5 feet to the center. We did that already, so that's good to go. So we got the meter in. The client is happy. Happy clients means your check is coming as soon as possible. But one thing you had to also pay attention to, sometimes those sheetrock guys, they do their own little things. So as you can see here, this guy put a zippy to close his sheetrock. But you see the zip is penetrating inside the panel. Imagine if there was wire across here, then that could have created a problem. Maybe he would have damaged the wire, the breaker would have tripped, and it would have a big problem. So pretty much, I think we're ready for inspection tomorrow, and we should pass inspection in flying colors. And what the next thing we're gonna do as well is once we finish this job, we're gonna leave a few spare breakers for the client in case in the future something happened, they could just swap them out, or we come out, we swap it out to them. It will be cheaper that way. So let me guys know. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Maybe I could answer it for you guys. But me personally, I'm like more of a Leviton guy. I don't know why. It's not because the panel is white, but it's just like it makes life a little bit much easier for me. And I just love the idea of finish the job and then put a nice glass cover panel on top to make it look a little bit, decent. Oftentimes the E10 panel, they paint the cover. I don't really like how it comes out sometimes. So that's why I'm more of a Leviton type of guy. So another thing too, you must have one of those Klein tester. So those are some of the testers the inspector use. So basically they'll go in this outlet here, for example, they'll plug it in and to make sure it was wired correct. As you can see, this one is wired correctly. Two reds mean it's correct. If it was the opposite, then it would have been wired the wrong way. So we know we're good on this side for sure. So that's one thing. And then sometimes you go around to make sure you check a few different ones. Because sometimes, we're human beings, so we do make small mistakes sometimes. So I think we're good to go for inspection for tomorrow. The next things that I want to share with you guys. So this is a residential house. In New York City, residential is not required that you use like MC wires. But me, personally, I'd rather spend a few more dollars, and then I like to use MC 12 to MCs in all my jobs, especially residential. I don't use BX. I like to use like 12 to MC. I just like it better only because I know the ground is coming straight to the panel. Sometimes, you might finish a job and then, the guy's putting up sheetrock. He might damage the jacket of the wire and then it stretch out a little bit. These are the things sometimes you don't see. But if you know the ground is coming straight to the panel, at least you have a more reliable source to work with. So pretty much everything is ready to go. So now the only thing I gotta do when I get home is to take all my label and print it out tomorrow. As you can see, I got everything labeled. Well, I don't have the perfect handwriting in the world, but everything is labeled, ready to go. Just type it in the computer, print it out, have it on site tomorrow, and it will be ready to go for inspection. So that's pretty much it. So everything is in good hand. Remember, you guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I hope this video helped you out on your job. So till next time, have a blessed night.